Hello, welcome to the next tutorial. So in this video we're going to talk about components. Specifically we're going to look at the transform component that every game object has. We're going to look at collider component, custom script components, and we're going to make our own script and add it to the player. So let's jump right in by starting with the transform component. So if I click on the player, actually if I click on any game object, they all have this component called transform, and there's no checkbox. I can't remove it, or I definitely can't remove it, but I also can't uncheck it, right? This transform is just part of every game object, and it just says where it is in the world, how it's rotated, and how it's scaled. Now this player also has a type of component called a collider. So specifically it's a capsule collider. And in the scene, if you can see, it's this green kind of mesh around the capsule. That's the collision shape of this player. So that's the capsule collider. And we can also add our own scripts that are going to add our own functionality. So in the project folder, I'm going to right click and make a new folder called scripts. Double click on the scripts folder, right click, create C# script. And I'm going to call this movement. Now it's important that you rename it before you click anywhere else. So there we go, I renamed it, I clicked off, and this script is called movement. Let me demonstrate, and now if you actually go away for a second and come back to Unity, it'll reload the script. But let me demonstrate what could also happen if you don't rename it quickly. So if I go and create a new C# script, but this time I don't rename it right away. I just click over here, and now I say, oh no, I don't want this to be called new behavior script. I want this to be called jump script. Well, I can rename it here. Let's call it jump, for example. Now when I open up these two scripts, let's open up movement. So double click on the script. It should open Visual Studio. This public class movement is a name that exactly matches the file name. But because this jump script, I clicked away and then I renamed it later, what this one looks like, once that one opens, is it still says new behavior script. And so what you need to do is just make sure that this new behavior script gets changed to exactly match the name of the file. So this public class jump needs to match jump.cs. Now I'm going to delete this jump script because we don't need that one right now. So to do that, you don't want to modify it from your file explorer or from Finder if you're on a Mac, but you actually want to just modify it directly from Unity. Just right click and go delete. And I'll have to reload the game again. Okay, so we've defined our custom script, and now if I go to the player game object, I can drag this script either onto the player in the hierarchy or onto the player in the scene, or I can drop it in the inspector over here. So I'll drop it in the inspector, look for that blue line, and let go, and now movement is another component of the player. And all these components are going to affect how the game object works. So that's all we're going to do for now for this script. In the next video, we'll keep working on the script more. But your challenge for this video is to add a rigid body component to the player and to go to that component and disable gravity. So see if you can figure out where the button is to add a rigid body component. You're going to go add a new component and then disable gravity. I'll let you pause the video and try that. All right, here we are. So I'm going to go add component. We have to have the player selected. At the bottom of the inspector, there's this add component. And it can be a little tricky to figure out which menu to go in here. So I can just type rigid body, and you want the regular one, not the 2D one. And this basically makes the player a physics object instead of just a visual object in the scene. And now I can go and uncheck use gravity, and it's as simple as that. So We'll see what the effects of that are later, but that's how to complete this challenge. So good job. We'll see you in the next video.